Give me the green light. Give me just one night. I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready to go right now. Let's go.
We're going to get something started tonight. We got a brand new series that we're starting at Kingdom Youth Church. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad all y'all are here. It's going to be a good night. I hope. I'm expecting to learn something. Anybody out there expecting to learn something tonight? Expecting to get something? Good. Now listen, we're starting a brand new series tonight called Sexual Revolution. Sexual Revolution. Now, how many of you guys have ever studied history, or have you ever heard about, in the 1960s, you ever heard about the sexual revolution? You guys hear about this? Now listen, I think that is completely misnamed, because a revolution by definition is a sudden change for the better. A sudden change for the better. And in the 60s, man, we had some kind of change. We had a lot of movement. We had a lot of chicks taking their bras off and burning them. I don't really know what that's all about. You know, I guess they didn't need support no more. I don't know. I don't really know. They stopped working out. I don't know. What does that mean? Now listen, this is what happened. This so-called sexual revolution, basically, the women just started acting like men. The women just started acting like sex was no big deal, like it was just easy, breezy, beautiful, bam, nothing big deal. It's just free love. Free love. And people started having sex with each other. And then this term, or this statement, started to be heard. It's just sex. It's not a big deal. It's just sex. Tonight, I want to, explode that myth. I want to blow it out of the water. I'm believing that God, through His grace, through His power, that He's going to start a real sexual revolution at Kingdom Youth Church. That we're going to experience a sudden change for the better. That we, tonight, through this next couple weeks, we're going to experience God in a new way. We're going to see God in a new way. We're going to see sex in a new way. And our lives are going to be changed because of it. For far too long, man, we have kicked the bed out of church and the church out of the bed. And tonight, we bring in the church back to the bed and the bed back to the church. And I know some of you are like, he's got a bed on church. He's got a bed in church. That's weird. I know some of you have already looked at the person next to you and you're like, why does he have a bed on stage? That's weird. That's creeping me out. Okay, I know you're a little uneasy because you don't think a bed should belong in church. Why? Because this right here is a very powerful symbol. To many people, now listen, some of you, in the junior high room, maybe it's not. Maybe you see that and you're like, oh, I'm sleepy. To some people you might be there. But for other people, this bed is a powerful symbol. To some, it's a symbol of love and commitment and fun. To others, it's a symbol of shame, regret, rebellion. It's where I can get in the bed and screw everybody else. I'm doing what I want to do. It's my life. Some people, this is a symbol of acceptance. Maybe you don't feel accepted in every other area of your life. But when you get in the bed, you feel some sort of acceptance. Maybe that's the only place that you feel beautiful. Maybe that's the only place you really feel like a man. The bed is a powerful symbol. And it's time to get the church back in the freaking bed and the freaking bed back in the church. Because listen to this. Sex is worship. Sex is worship. So you're going to be, your hands might be sweating a little bit. You might be a little nervous. You might be like, a little creeped out by this tonight, but I believe God's going to do something. I believe God's going to teach us something tonight. Because for far too long, all the church has had to say about sex is this: don't do it. Don't do it. Quit it. Stop it. Stop thinking about it. Stop looking at it. Stop talking about it. Stop doing it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Go take a cold shower. That's all the church has had to say about it. When it comes to sex and sexuality, the church has basically taught us not to. The culture has taught us how to. You can't walk. Man, I went to Target today. I walked down the aisle and everything, 27 positions. This way to get you, how to be the best in the bed, how to make her love you, how to blah, blah, blah. I mean, everything. The culture has taught us how to. What we're going to talk about tonight is when to, where to, and why to. The church has said not to. The culture said how to. Tonight we're going to talk about when to, where to, why to. It's the questions we're going to try to answer tonight. So most of us have probably never experienced teaching like this in a church. Maybe if you grew up in a church, usually sex it was like a completely another subject. Like we expect your parents to talk to it about home, and we're not going to say anything about it. We're just going to assume that nobody's having sex in this room. We're just going to assume that. All right? It wasn't talked about in my house. It wasn't talked about at all in my house. Many of you probably grew up in this camp where it was like, shh. I doubt very seriously that many of you and your parents have like this really good relationship talking about sex. Most of us are like, it's like this weird taboo subject that it's like, don't talk about. If you told them you were struggling, they'd freak out. There's people in that camp tonight. And then and you know what, that's just jacked up. That's whack, man. We got to talk about it. Everybody's thinking about it. Studies say guys think about sex every 20 seconds. He just thought about it again. That's a lot. Now listen. So some of us in this group in here tonight, maybe you grew up with super spiritual people or super religious people, and it was not talked about. And in your church, you never talked about sex. It's a taboo subject. Don't talk about it. Just go take a cold shower, forget about it. If you use it, I'll cut it off, stop it till you're married. You grew up like that. Now listen, and then there's other people in this room. That you grew up with a mother who had different boyfriends in and out of the house. You grew up with a dad who had chicks in all the time. You saw the promiscuity. You saw it. You learned that sex is not really a big deal, that just everybody's doing it. As long as you love the person tonight, it's good. You grew up with this mentality, and now sex is just cool, man. Sex is just it. If I want to have sex, I'm going to have sex with anybody I want to. With her, with him, with both of them at the same time. I mean, we got all kind of, and we get into all kind of craziness. Sex with multiple partners, homosexuality, bisexual, bi-curious. Come on, get a grip. I like all these. I'm gonna put it on my Facebook profile. It makes me a little more intriguing. I'm bi-curious. I just haven't figured it out yet. Give me a free. You're in junior high. Okay, you won't figure it out for a long time, all right? But let me tell you this, guys and girls. We're gonna get to that. I don't want to get into it too much tonight. Sex is a God-given gift. Sex is a God-given gift, many times used in a God-forbidden way. It's a God-given gift, many times used in a God-forbidden way. So we got to take this, our goal tonight is to take this God-given gift, use it in a God-driven way, which is in marriage, in a life commitment between a husband and a wife. That's the only way to have sex and God be okay with it. God made it, God invented it, God likes it, God gave it to us. The only way to use this God-given gift in a God-honoring way is in marriage. It's the only way to do it.
I just need permission, so
Give me